Hello there. I'm just going to give you a couple of seconds for anybody to join me and for me to get a feed as usual. How are we all? It's a little bit, I don't know about you, but it's a little bit dull here. I've had to actually put my lights on tonight so I can see. So the nights are pulling in a little bit now, I think. I'm just waiting for a video feed. It takes forever to come up on my phone. Aha, I got one. Lovely. Hello there. Sorry, right, there we go. I'm going to turn it down. Right, so nobody on at the moment, so I'm just going to crack on then. So rather than just sit here talking to myself, right. This evening, two lovely projects. Well, I think they're quite lovely. This card I've never done before. It's called a corner card, and if I turn it over, you can see it's just a normal A6 card, but the corners, it's not cut off. It's actually put inside. Look, it's creased and folded, so you see it inside, and inside when you open it up, you can pop up. Hey Laura, how are you? I thought it was Billy No Mates tonight, but I thought I'd crack on anyway. So yeah, it's a corner fold card. So yeah, there's several things you can do with it. You can put a sentiment on here if you want. You don't have to put the pop-up bit, but it all just adds to it. Very easy to do, but I think it looks quite good. You don't actually have to have this corner covered either. You could just leave it plain and decorate the front of this panel, but I just thought it was quite nice to put it over the corner. So there's that. And then we've got a self-closing box, which is one of my all-time favourite styles of boxes. I always go to this when because you can make it in lots of different sizes and everything. So, hey Diane, hi Sandra, hope you're all well. So yeah, self-closing box. So what I mean by that, you just pinch the sides and it opens up. It doesn't quite close now because I've been opening it up and closing it quite a bit. But what you can do, you can put 2 holes there and you can tie ribbon through as well, and that, so people can't peek. That makes it a little bit, tighter closing. But what's inside is a lovely Tropic hand cream, because I love my Tropic products. And before I forget, if anybody does want to see a Tropic catalogue, please just PM me, because my daughter is a Tropic ambassador and she can help you. She can place an order for you or help you with an order, whatever. So yeah, they are lovely products, but so I won't go into that. Who else have I got? Hello Trevor. Yeah, that's it. Right, so that goes. Oh yeah, it's quite a nice roomy size. As I said, they do these shower gels as well, which are slightly smaller, so that's a little bit. I designed it for that, but it kind of swamped it. Although you could wrap it in some tissue paper. They actually do come in a paper wrap. But hand creams, what hand creams? But yeah, quite a roomy box. So let's get rid of those. And we're going to start with the box tonight anyway. Put the card over there. So yeah, probably, I wouldn't say it's difficult, a little bit challenging to do the folds, but as I say, I'll explain that when we come to it. So I'm going to crack on. And obviously I've used the Timeless Tropical set, which I use quite a lot. Oh, quick thing me before I forget also, as of, what date is it? August the 4th. I keep saying August the 3rd, it's actually August the 4th. Our new mini holiday catalogue goes live to customers. We've obviously got them beforehand, and we've had a little play with some of the products and stuff. So if anybody would like one of those, if anybody's placed an order with me in the last 6 months online, you will get one. You'll receive one anyway. But if you haven't, but you still like one, just PM me again, and I'll pop one in the post for you if you give me your address. Thank you very much. Right, so I will crack on now. I've got that all the way out of the way. Right, so here we go. We're going to do the box first. Hi Bev, how are you? So, as usual, all my measurements will be on my blog. Might not be tomorrow, it might be Thursday, or even, whenever I get round to it, but I will put them on there when I can. So, whenever I make a box or a card that's new to me, this isn't new to me, but this size is actually new to me, I make a template because I find it so much easier. I don't know if you can see what I've done. So you've got your measurements, which are 21 centimetres across there, 17 centimetres down there, and this is all your score measurements. So the black lines are the score lines. Obviously these were scored, but where I've put squiggly red lines, that's where we're going to cut. This is your bottom flaps of your box, so it's like that basically. And then these are the score lines that they're just a little bit tricky just to fold, but not too bad. But I'll show you how to do those. So hopefully that makes sense. I'll leave that there for a little while. But I'll put that on my blog as well. hopefully, if people need it. So yeah. Right, here we go. So we need an embossing tool, although I have actually done it beforehand, just to save a little bit of time. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll just quickly go over it so you can see what I've done. So on the short side, we measure at 8 centimeters. Oh, I actually did this. I'm confusing it. Right, hold on. I did this on my mini trimmer. But I did need to do the diamonds or the triangles with the embossing tool. So then you have paper cutter. And if anybody wants to know, I did do my top tips on the mini paper, the paper trimmer this morning. If anybody wants any hints and tips how to use it, go to my YouTube channel and it's there. I did do that this morning, as I say. So in there get the bit of the cutting blade right out of the way, and you just score at 8 centimeters down there, and then again at 16. I'm just going to have to open it up. And make sure that's because I don't want to double score it. So yeah, and then score up there. So that's the short side done. Yeah, we'll go back to that in a minute. And then the long side is at 2.5. Score down there at 2.5, and then 17. So there, so I've scored. Now then this portion here, which is your 4 centimeter portion, I don't know if you can see, but this is, you can see there's a little bit of a rectangle here. I'm going to flip it over because I don't want to measure from there. I need to measure from the other end. So I'm going to measure in straight from this end at 4 centimeters, just up to that line. So 4. Then 8, then 12, right up to 4 centimeters. Now actually I can't measure 4 centimeters because my metric guide is in inches, my ruler guide thing here, but we do one in metric now for £3.75 I think it is. So I need to order that because I much prefer to work in metric than I do inches. I can work in both, but I prefer the metric. So I've done that, and then we need to go in, so with your base, so you've got your marks here at 4 centimeters and 8 centimeters, and this is where we want to go from your bottom V. So you probably can't see, so here's your 4 centimeters mark, so that's where I'm going to start the triangle from. I'm going to start from there up to that top, that score mark there, to the corner. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to score it down there. Don't make a funny noise. This is our picker tool, by the way, and this changes. So normally I usually have the don't know where it's gone. I have the scoring tool in there, but I've taken it out to put the score. And you've got a double-ended. So this one is ideal for cardstock, the small end, and then you've got a bigger end. That's for our designer series paper, so it doesn't rip it. Hey Catherine, how are you? Alright, so, and then we're going to go from here again, and then, yeah, if I don't see anybody comment, it's because when I make boxes, I do have to concentrate a little bit more than cards, probably because I haven't made any boxes for quite a while either. So score there, and then we're going to come along again on that 8 centimeter the 12 mark up to that other corner. Okay, it doesn't matter which way you go, down there. Good to hear, Catherine. So yeah, again from that corner, not that corner, not from the outside edge, because you've got that small little bit, that's your flap, our cutting flap, or sticking flap. So from there down to, ooh, the noise, right. So that's all our scoring done for that. Right, so what you can do next, you can burnish next. So burnish all your lines. It's a bit unusual for me to do boxes on my Facebook Live, but I thought I would for a change. And then that one. Yeah. And we're going to do our cutting. So if you go to your cutting guide again, just so we know, so that's what it looks like. So you've got there's your first cut down there, so that's that one there. Then you've got that one, and we're going to cut that whole rectangle out, so we get rid of that, and you can miter it slightly there to make it neater. Then we're going to come down here, get rid of that bottom rectangle, and then just cut up all your flaps. But don't miter them. You can miter them as you go if you need to, but it's best to do that as you go along, and you'll see what I mean, because you want a nice flat bottom really. You don't want, you don't want these edges. And I think that's it. So we'll do that. And then I am actually going to just do something that's not on the plan, but I don't know if you see on my box. This is actually the top of the box, and it was just a little bit too big for my liking, so I cut it down a little bit. So I'll do that before we do anything else. That'll make it easier. So yeah, keep those flaps straight, but you can miter this bit a little bit. Cut the rectangle out and can miter. So that's it, apart from the flaps. Yeah, it's not too long to make this box. Actually, it looks more complicated than it is. Once you've got this tricky folding out of the way, it's fine. And once you've got your DSP layers on as well, so I'm going to put that to the side for the time being. And so yeah, so now you've got to try and just gently and carefully just try and find that diagonal line. You only want to pinch it in the keep saying diamond, triangle shape, like that one and that one. It kind of goes on its own anyway if you've scored it well enough. So it's scored really well and you'll be fine. So that's that one done. So you can see it coming together now. It's just a case of easing it gently to start off with, not forcing it anyway. And then I'm finding that however easy it is for you to do it. So just fold it. And then you can burnish it a little bit. And that's really the most difficult part. So not difficult really, just a little bit tricky, just in getting the fold nicely. So now we're going to just do the designer series paper. And I don't know if I wrote the measurement down. I did write it. That's just cut a little bit smaller, but so I'll put it all on my blog. We've got to find the centre of this. So, and I actually did do it. It's 75 millimeters. So half of that, well, it is actually, I'm a bit naughty, I shouldn't, it's 3 inches, so about 1.5 across. So because I'm obviously want the front, I don't want a load of pencil marks, and I will actually just rub that one out. I've got 2 of them. I have actually marked them on the back ready to cut. So yet again, you just go from the middle halfway line up to the corners with a pencil. And then you can use your paper trimmer to cut it, or you can use a nice pair of sharp scissors, which is what I'm going to do. My new scissors that I treated myself to. Not for the Stampin' Up, unfortunately, because we don't do a big pair anymore. But these are lovely. Did get these from Amazon. But you could do it on your paper trimmer, whichever you feel more comfortable with. trying to follow that line as carefully as you can. You don't actually have to put the panels on your box, and you certainly don't have to put it on front and back. I've chosen to, but you could just do the front. So that's that one. Just obviously don't get your panels muddled up. I think we'll do that one. Oh no, I'll cut them and then I'll just keep them separately. I hope I'm in camera. So yeah, as I said, there's different sizes you can do for this. A lot of the other boxes are usually a little bit more square, but I quite like this longer one. It's ideal for hand cream size. So put that to the side for the moment. And obviously just stick the layers on, making sure you get right up to the corners. You want your glue to cover well. Oh, glue's getting low. And then it should fit nicely without touching the sides. Just getting that right up to that point, because otherwise that will lift off. And yeah, just take a little bit of time, just making sure it's all level. So as I say, you could just do the front, which actually this is going to be our front, and I'll tell you how I differentiate between the front and the back. Oh, see what I mean about the little, you don't want that popping up, so make sure you get it plenty of glue. Right, when I do a box, right, this is your seam. You want to make sure, this is a little bit tricky to get this together, but you want to make sure that your seam, when you do it, faces to the back. I'm just going to work out which way it is. Don't think it matters too much on this actually, looking at it. So yeah, I think it looks, yeah, that would be the front. Yeah, so your seam's facing that way to the back. That's just me, it's me being a little bit fussy, but it doesn't really matter. Sometimes it's more noticeable. And the same will be when we do the base. So we'll pop that other one on. Hi Leslie, how are you? Sorry, Sarah, if I'm not looking at my phone, I'm concentrating tonight. It does. I do have to concentrate a little bit more when I do my boxes. I get carried away and forget that I'm being filmed as well. Yeah, that one's not quite so. Not too worried though. Yeah, it's getting it right up into that corner because it will lift otherwise. There we go. And this paper is from, now let me think, Playful Patterns, I think it's called, from the main catalogue. It's the paper where we've got the alphabet dies basically. I haven't had much of a play with that, but it's a brilliant set. The whole suite is lovely actually. I think I did use the stamp set last week if I think about it. I'm sure I did. Yeah, I did like this. Yeah, there are some lovely papers in that pack. Very different. A good mix, definitely. I'm just going to work. Yes, I know how I'm going to do this. Right. So, because obviously that's a little bit tricky, there's an easy way to do this. We're going to just lay it flat and bring that over. It should. Yeah, it will. I'm going to use my new Stampin' Seal for this. If I can get it. Oh, yeah, just missed the. It probably might be better to use the firmer one, but I haven't got that yet, the plus. But I'm sure this will hold it. It's pretty good stuff. So, and then bring it all together down like that. Nice firm rub with your bone folder. And then you've got your box. See it? And it closes already. Opens and closes. In your shape. Now this is the. I'd say it's tricky, but you want to get your base flat. I don't know if you can see on this one. It's pretty flat. There's a little bit of a concave, convex. I never know which way it is, but it does stand just about. It tips a little bit forward. Not. But yeah, sometimes if you don't get this flat, you'll get a curve. So you want it as flat as possible. And we might have to do some cutting here. No worries, Sharon. It's glad you can join us. So. Right, and this is one. So we've got to work out which our front is. And as I say, I can't see the join, so I'm not too fussed. But with the front, I want these two front flaps going backwards. I want the fold here, not the join, if that makes sense. So I'm going to keep those two out. And I'm going to work on these two. And that one's fine. That's, yep, that's going to go in there. So hopefully you can see that they are fitting on top of each other, and I like that rather than mitering. You could miter down if you wanted to, but so I like the fact that it's nice and square. So I'm going to put glue on there. So that's why I said don't miter unless as you go, because this you could cut a little bit off here if it was a bit too big. It's been a little bit problematic, but I think it'll be all right. Now the easiest way to get that to stick is to shove something long there like the ruler and just try and rub it a little bit. Yeah, it has slipped out. So yeah, this is where you just need a little bit of time. Now I'm just going to cut that a little bit. A little bit of time to make sure it's square. And yet again there, that's a little bit, no, that'll be okay actually. Looks a bit long there, but it's fine. And then like that, yeah. So it's just about taking your time to get your everything level and at the angle, and then you won't get that curve. Okay. Plenty of glue. Sorry, I hope I was in camera then. Yeah, got a little bit of a curve going on, but hopefully it will stand. And once you get your product in it, whatever you're going to put in it, your gift, hopefully that'll weigh it down anyway. So yeah, there is I don't know if you can see, there's a slight curve going on, which I think you kind of get anyway. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And it stands, so yeah, that's perfect. But I did forget to cut that top off, but no worries, I can do it now. So I'm just going to get my little mini paper cutter. Oh yeah, and I must mention this mini paper cutter, this was only available to new demonstrators if you joined in the celebration period back in January to March. But they are actually, it's limited edition, or not limited edition, limited supplies, but they, as far as I know, they are still available on my website. But I think only I can order it, so if you wanted one of those, and they're £9.25, I can place an order for it if it's still available. As I say, I can't promise that. And I'm just going to bring it and cut it. Yeah, I just didn't like that big top. It'd be all right if you was putting a ribbon on, that would be fine, but I'm not. So, and now it's just about decorating it. So we're going to use the hibiscus. The big hibiscus. I'm using soft suede because I find black a little bit harsh. Stamp it down, and that's lovely. And then we're just going to do a couple of leaves. making sure I get the right leaves, because this is, yeah. Well, actually, I think I did I do some? No, I think it was the sunflowers I did. Oh, no worries. They're doing all right for time. And as I always say, this set does come with dies, but I will be cutting it out by hand tonight to show you that it is possible to do it by hand. It just takes a little bit longer. Right, and we're going to use watercolour pencils because I haven't used them for a while. So what did we use? We used the Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight, and the Old Olive for the leaves. That's it, just 3 colours. And I think, no, I didn't use blender. I'll use water on this one. I'll use blender pen on the next one to show you the difference. Well, there isn't much difference, to be honest. It's personal preference, really. It's just if you use water, you do have to be very careful not to soak it. And especially as we're only using Whisper White, I'm not even using the shimmery tonight. If you were a little bit worried about using water, but wanted to use water, you could use the shimmery, and that would you'd be okay using water on that. So you just got to watch me do a little bit of colouring. Nothing too difficult. Just going to go in where the shading is. If you do want to do some colouring and you're a little bit nervous about doing it, I thoroughly recommend starting with our watercolouring pencils. They are probably easier than our Stampin' Blends, definitely. That's it. Could have put 2 colours in this really, but then I thought I'd keep it simple. I'll bring a bit more. So you can do it quite scribbly. Don't have to worry too much, because once you use the Stampin' Blend pen or your water, it'll smooth it out. Can't believe how much darker it's getting already. And so we've had the longest day though, haven't we? So I've got a feeling my dog's going to barge through the door any minute. She's out there. She's getting ready to lunge. Hi Susan, how are you? Yeah, I can hear her. She's snorting like a horse now. No worries, Susan. You can always catch up on replay if you want to. And just so you all know, that I always eventually upload my Facebook lives to YouTube. Right, so we're going to try with the water, with the brush. I'm actually going to try using, I used a brush, but I'm going to use a normal brush. I'm going to use our water painter, but not squeezing the water out. I'm just going to use water out of a glass and get some kitchen towel just in case. Gosh, I'm knocking everything now. Am I pressed very hard? Yeah, on the pencils, yeah, to get different colours. Right, let me show you. Right, you can build up the colour by different pressures. So depending on where I hold it, if I hold it right at the end, and you can go quite light, but I don't feel as I've got much control there, but you can like blend it. If you bring your hand further down, you've got a lot more control, and it automatically goes darker. Obviously, that's quite a light pressure. That's really quite a firm pressure, and if I go really hard like that, so hopefully you can kind of see. Yeah, so you can get different colour, colour depth by your pressure basically. So yeah, and just it's a case where you hold it. I know people always say I hold my pencils funny, but it's just how I do hold it. So yeah, I would say it's down to where you hold your pencil. If you want a nice light touch, just hold it lightly, and then you can get a really nice light touch look. So kind of case of just playing really. So yeah, very light. But yeah, further down, nice and firm. But I've never broken it yet either, so yeah. But good question, because I didn't think to mention that. Right, back to. But yeah, they're definitely a good place to start. They're great value for money. I think one set's around about the £15 mark, and I think the other set's about £11 or something, so that they won't break the bank. But will definitely give you a chance to play with some colour. My only regret, I must admit, and when the new catalogue, I was desperately hoping they would bring out some more colours, but they haven't so far. And no, and they didn't in the mini catalogue either, which is a shame. But we can always, actually, I need to go to the sandbox. We have a place where we can go and ask for more products, so I need to do that. I definitely feel we could do with, it would be lovely if we had the whole colour range of all our inks. It really would. It would give us a lot more versatility. But yeah, we need, yeah. Oh, if you've got them, Leslie, definitely get them out and play. Yep, have a go with either. If you haven't got a blender pen, get yourself some then, or failing that, just a paintbrush with some water. Right, this is where I said I'm not using the water out of here, although it's very good and the flow is very good. I don't want it blobbing water all over my cardstock, so that's why I'm just getting it out of a glass, which you can't see. I've just got a glass of water here to the side, so just to get that, just gives me a little bit more control. But if I was using shimmery white, it wouldn't matter because it won't soak your paper like this would. But yeah, very easy to use. It's just like using normal coloured pencils. Just because they're watercolour pencils, then they're literally no different. It's just the fact that you can add water to them. And the good thing is, I say, you don't see all the scribbleness. You can scribble. Once you use water or your blender pen, you don't see the scribbles. So it's marvellous for that. No, Dan, this isn't watercolour paper. This is literally our Whisper White. But as I say, if you use watercolour paper, that would give you a lot more. That'd be much more forgiving. But I sometimes just use Whisper White and just gently use a little bit of water. But as I say, if you were worried about it, use our shimmery or the watercolour, the Fluid 100, I think it's called, isn't it? So yeah, I quite like that nice light effect on the ends. Sorry, Liz, I can't see it. That's great. I've got some too. Good. Yeah, my go-to when I'm doing any watercolor techniques is the shimmery over watercolor paper. I must admit. Don't get me wrong. I do like the watercolor paper. It's just that stamping on it, because it's very textured, you sometimes don't get a good image. It's okay if you use your Stamparatus, but I don't know why. I just love our shimmery because I think it is because it's got the little bit of sparkle in it. And anybody who knows me knows I love sparkle and glitter. So I just love it. I go through quite a few packs of it at a time. I think I need a little bit more water on that. Yeah, it's not. I probably should have put a little bit more colour in on it. Although, as I say, I like the contrast. But yeah, with colouring, it's like anything. It just all takes a little bit of practice. But it really isn't difficult with these. Trust me, I don't think it is anyway. And yeah, and another thing, it's just time. If you want to spend more time, you can get really fabulous results as well. But obviously, I don't want to bore you all just sitting here. But Which stamp set this is? Oh, this is Timeless Tropical. Sorry, hold on. Timeless Tropical. So it's the big hibiscus here we're using and the leaf. So yeah, love this set. I have used it a lot. And so there's dies that match it, goes with it. I do have the dies, but so a lot of the time I just end up cutting it by hand. Because they're not that difficult to cut out the shapes. It's got a lovely, the dies have got a lovely pineapple in, which you would never be able to cut out by hand, but so they are worth buying for that, and for the cutting. Right, so we're nearly there. Oh, we're there on the hibiscus. Just got to quickly do the leaves. So very quickly, I'm on here too. So I want my table to obviously yet again just in where the shading is on the stamp. That's what I do. Just get on the stamp, wherever you can see the shading is. That's where I just aim to put the colour. And you can't really go wrong then. And then when you smooth it out, you then just get the light and dark. You can leave some white spaces if you like, which is rather nice. And you can see my pencils now get a little bit blunt. I do like to use sharp pencils. You get different effects with sharp pencil and a blunt pencil, but I have a sharpener here, which we don't do a sharpener, unfortunately. This one is Faber-Castell, and it's really good. It opens up. Oh, yeah, it's got 3, and it's this one. You use the colour one. So I don't have one of those fancy electric ones, but. And quick tip, what was you actually move the pencil sharpener, not the pencil. Oh gosh, here we go. That's what happens. Just get rid of that. I was told, and I don't. Hold on, I'm just going to hold this over the bin. You don't twist the pencil. You move the sharpener. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. But anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's you move the sharpener. But it won't hurt either way. I don't think, as I say, I sharpen these a lot. I haven't broken any yet, so, and I have dropped them, and I have to say, and I haven't broken any, so they're pretty good. And yeah, you can see how much my yellow one gets used. It's really short. I've got 2 of them, and they're both quite short. Anyway, I digress. Right, so in again with the water. Yeah, I must admit the die is easier to cut with this leaf. This leaf can be a little bit tricky to cut out, but how are we doing for time? Oh gosh, it is going to be a long one tonight. I have tried to do some of the work tonight because it's on the sunflower card especially. We're nearly there. So I hope we've all been crafting. Haven't lost our mojo. I know a lot of people have. And I must admit, I do go through stages sometimes of losing mine a little bit. I've been pretty lucky so far. Right, that's done. I'll just have a quick drink though. Excuse me. Right. So I'll quickly cut these out. Yeah, I use blends a lot, Diane. I kind of forget about my watercolour pencils, and then I thought, no, I'm going to use them tonight. I do love my blends, but I do realise that sometimes they are a little bit tricky for some people to use. I like to show both because you get a more delicate look, I think, with the watercolour pencils. So, well, obviously depending on what colours you use, but Stampin' Blends give you, yeah, more of a depth of colour. Obviously you could use your inks as well just to colour in. Yet again, I would recommend shimmery white for that though, not our Whisper White. If in doubt, when you're using water, go for the shimmery. You won't go wrong then. It's got a coating on it, so it won't, yeah, so you can't really soak it. Yeah, sorry about this. I'll say next time round when I do the sunflower, I have got one that I've prepared earlier, so I just run out of time this evening to do this as well. So quickly do this. I find it easier to cut from this end to try and get the jaggedness of this leaf. Yes, Laura, your card was beautiful. I do hope you do upload your video, if not your card at least. Laura used my inspiration from last week, I think it was, Laura, wasn't it, of the oh gosh, I forgot what it's called, sepia technique. And Laura used the peony set, and oh my gosh, she showed me, it's beautiful, it really is. I do love it when people have a go at what I've shown. I have to say that I did prefer it to my sunflower, and I just knew that peony would work. It really is lovely. I think, yeah, the magnolia would work well as well, but I haven't got that one. And if anybody wants to follow Laura, she is under, I'm sure you hope you don't mind, Laura, Kimber Creations. She makes some lovely cards. She's very good at shading and blending. Sorry, she's been a demo for a lot longer than I have. Nearly there, folks. Yeah. Oh, I haven't got that one. I don't. Well, yeah, I think I know which set you mean. You're going to have a go with this or with the sepia technique, do you mean? I think it would work lovely with that, wouldn't it? Excellent. Bone folder. Sarah, what have you done with your bone folder? There it is. It's hiding. Right, put a little bit of movement in with my hibiscus just by using my bone folder. Pops on some dimensionals. Obviously you could put a gift tag on here as well, wherever you wanted to. You could have it hanging off, or as I said, and you could put your ribbon on if you wanted to, but I'm not. That will do, 4 will do. I wouldn't be able to get my leaves underneath, so I think that's the right way up. So it's up to you. You could have it down there, up there, Oh yeah, I've got to do the sentiment, yeah, haven't I? I might not do that. I might just leave that off. And then, because obviously I haven't put them right to the edge, I can put some glue on these and tuck them under. So yeah, for the benefit of time, oh, I forgot to do a little bit of movement again. I do like to put a bit of, for the benefit of time, I'm not going to do the sentiment because I've got to show you the other cards yet. Just got to squeeze it because it's so like that. I haven't about Simon Symphony. I didn't even see that. Hi Simon, you're back then. I thought I heard you back. He is funny. He does have his moments, I have to say, Laura. He does amuse me. I'm glad he didn't use my pet name. He'll probably go and do that now. Right, there we go. We're done. And I'm not going to do the sentiment, say, for the benefit of time. But you can see, you just put a sentiment and cut it out around the top. Or put a tag on, whichever you like. Right, so that's them done. Now we'll get on to... Oh, he's a monkey, isn't he? Yeah, more than his life's worth. No, it's nothing too bad. I'm still not going to share it though. Right, so as I said earlier, I make a template. So it's a normal A6 card. I don't know if I explained this earlier. I probably did. The score, and then say I'll show you the score, and then it just pops inside. And as you open it, you can put something on here, like, oh, where's the original? For those who didn't see it, what we've done with it, here it is. So here's the one, here's what we're making. So you don't have to put something in this corner. You could leave this corner so you can see the corner, and then you could decorate the front. I just chose to, but obviously you've got to make sure, I've got a feeling that may be over a little bit. I haven't tested an envelope. You've got to make sure that it doesn't go over the edge, and it has a little bit, but I can hope that it won't be too big to still go in a C6 envelope. Boo boo. Okay, that's from not Scooby-Doo, the other one with the Hair Bear bunch. Was it, or was it? Oh, I don't know. But yeah, still not telling you mine, Laura. Right, so yeah, just make sure it doesn't go over the edge. That's all I can say about that, really. So, we crack on. So, you cut your layers as usual, your DSP, your white layers, and we use all the same measuring. Just going to pull them out, but otherwise they're going to get, and we've got to do it on that one as well. Yeah, it's quite a lot. What pack of nape? Oh yeah, sorry. This is from Flowers for Every Season. It's the sunflower. I didn't want to use the sunflowers. I thought that was too much. So yeah, Flowers for Every Season, sweet. Thank you, Laura. Should have told you that. And I'm going to measure now. So on the top, you've got your card like this. So on the fold at the top, we're going to measure across 3 inches. It's very easy. 3 inches there. Then coming down from the top again, 2 inches. And we need to do the same on all of the layers, so we might as well do it while we're here. So 3. I'm not going to start switching it around because that will get complicated. I'm just doing it on the front and hope that I can see. I do need to... this will be actually cut off, not folded, so that one. I have got my rubber, so to get rid of any ugly marks. And then we just join them up. And then the inside one as well. 3. Very easy, all the same measurement. 2. Join them up. And then they will get cut in a moment. Go back to this one. I'm going to use our scoring tool again. From the 2 to the 3 mark. And you want a nice firm score. You really want to be able to see it from the back as well. Yeah, it's not quite gone through, so what I do is I bend it a little bit. You can just about see it. And then you can burnish it. Oh, that's gone a little bit. Alright. I'm going a little bit heavy-handed there on the. Right, then this gets folded in, so yeah, you can see it comes in on its own really, which is really good. That then becomes the inside. Hopefully you saw that, what I did there, because it kind of just does it on its own if you've burnished it enough. And I find burnishing it inside again really helps. And that's all there is to it really. Just get the layers put on. Do our cuts. I'm just going to pull my. Oh dear. That's funny. Moving. Yeah, my Daisy, she's like a cow. She moos. She doesn't. Well, she does woof, but she does a mooing, especially when she wants food. And she's black and white, so we call her a cow, Daisy cow. Funny, aren't they? Yeah, unfortunately those triangles are too big for the inside bit, so we have a separate piece for that, and that measures 2.5 by 1 3/4, and yeah, basically we cut diagonally. So just put a pencil line, cut those. Yeah, again you can use your trimmer. Got most of the bits ready now, so any pencil marks you can rub off with a soft rubber. And then just start stacking your layers up as usual. Sorry, I must have hit that and probably moved the table. Oh gosh. Ah, a little bit on the glue end, hold on. Got a little snotty bit. Ugh. Oh dear me. Right, that's it. That's better. It is getting low, that's why as well. So obviously central as possible, could obviously, I was going to use the yellow sunflower, but I only had one sheet of that left. I thought, oh well, no, I'll go for contrast and against the sunflower. But I think I'm going to have a go at making some more shape like this, but with using some of the other papers, because they're beautiful, those papers. Just try different flowers on the corner maybe. So you can see it's quite quick and easy to come together once you've done it. I'll glue the sunflower, I'll do the inside. Oh yeah, I need to stamp that, don't I? So I'll just put a stamped image inside. Oh, that didn't come out very well, never mind. And I need another one for the pop-up. That's better. I didn't press firm enough. That was my fault. And then I'll just quickly put the sentiment in. You'll notice I'm actually finishing the card off tonight, inside and out. That's a novelty for me. I really must learn to do it. So congratulations on reaching a whole new level of wonderful. The blue I'm using, by the way, is our Misty Moonlight, which is the same colour as the cardstock. I don't know if anybody else is talking to me, but I can't see any more comments. So I'll stick that in. I will actually colour it later rather than doing it all now. It's just colouring again. But yeah, a little bit of a different card, I thought. One that I hadn't done before. A bit unusual, and I do like cards that have a little pop-up in the middle. I suppose I better colour this one. So I'm just going to do it really quickly. Oh yeah, I cut this out with a die earlier. Actually, I'm sure I did do some extra bits. Maybe I didn't do the small bit. No, I did then. No, didn't do the small one. Using slightly different colours to what I normally do. This is Cajun Craze. And then Early Espresso. Which I can't see that again. As I say, normally I would take a little bit more time. But if you want to make quick cards, you can make them quickly. I've got around here. Thank you, Leslie. Good luck with your class or your group. And yes. This really is a good set actually, because you've got your large sunflower, got this tiny little one, which I haven't used much, I have to be honest. I really do need to use it a little bit more. I just always plump for the large one. And we'll go, can't find the colours. There it is, Calypso Coral. A little bit of a kind of a peachy, dark peachy colour, which I'm hoping the sunflowers in my garden are going to be when they come up. I've got my yellow ones are out. But I've planted a few varieties. I've planted some that are called Van Gogh, would you believe? And I'm hoping they'll be nice. Can't remember the names of the other. Oh, Harlequin, I think, were the other ones. They're getting there, getting nice and tall and very leafy. So I'm just waiting now. I believe the children break off soon, don't they? Or have broken up today. A lot of them have for holiday. Those that haven't been, those that have been going to school, obviously. I really don't know, because I don't. My children are grown up, and I don't have grandchildren at the moment. So post photos of you. Okay, Dan. Well, I did actually the other day. I did post a photo of my first one that came out, but yeah, I've got a few others out now, so I don't want to bore people on Facebook. I think, oh god, here she goes again with her sunflowers. She's got a bit of an obsession. I have, to be honest, I have got an obsession with sunflowers. But there's worse things I could be obsessed with, I guess. Old olive. I'll just go around the edge and then I'll there we are. And I will use the blender pen for these, so pretty much like using water, apart from obviously it's a lot easier to carry and transport than water is. So, and then to clean, you just can rub it until it runs clear on your scrap paper. There's that camera again. I have keep moving it. That's all there is to it, really. Right, I'm just going to ignore that for the moment. I'm going to go back to the front of the. So I've got this sunflower one. I really don't think you probably need to watch me colour that. I could colour. Yeah, I'll do a little bit. I'm sure you get the gist of what I do. It's just creating the light and dark, really. So I did do this once with watercolour, and I think I was on it a good half hour. It did take me a while, but as I say, it's all to do with time, however long you want to take colouring one in to the results you get, really. So I'll just go in a little bit darker around the leaves. You can actually create amazing results if you with these, if you want to keep blending, and but that's why I would like more colours, if I'm honest, to get different results. So yeah, going at the base of the petals just a little bit with the brown. I'm not going to do all of that, so I'm just going to give you a general idea of how I colour it. But yeah, create a little bit of depth at the bottom, then bring in your different colours. So we'll bring in Calypso Coral again. Just making your petals look a bit curved really. And then crushed curry, which looks nothing like crushed curry. Oh gosh, sorry. It's a bit on the table moves. But it is when it comes out, it looks a bit more like crushed curry, which is like a dark yellow. Just build your colour up, blend it in, and then just finish with Daffodil Delight. Yeah, thank you, Laura. It is, yeah, I mean, I know I keep using it because it is my go-to at the moment. But there are so many things you can do with it. I know we all say, oh, you can, yeah, it's best, but it truly is. I don't think you'd ever get bored of using it either. She says when they retire, well, hopefully they won't retire. I'm hoping they'll carry it over for numerous years so I can get lots of use out of it. I aim to use it in my scrapbooking when I get round to it and I get some time. Right, I think hopefully you can get the general idea of that. Go in with your blender pen. Leave a little bit of white. I do like to leave a little bit of white just so it's, yeah. So hopefully you get the idea. But here's one we did earlier. So yeah, bearing in mind that this time I've got to make sure I don't go over that edge. I'm going to stick this one to the back. Yeah, I think that will cover. So I kind of need some dimensionals just at the bottom there. Gosh, I am running over time tonight. I do try to keep my Facebook lives to around about the hour mark, but sometimes I go over. Nearly there. So yeah, again, just make sure you don't go over that edge too much. That's it. I'm sure that'll be okay. What I should do is bring an envelope. If I was you, I would just check it in an envelope to make sure it goes. If not, I mean, you fail in that, you could always put it in a bigger envelope. Oh yeah, I only did 2 leaves. Right, I'll put another leaf on later. Just going to do that, do the sentiment. So they'll all be posted on my blog as well, so you'll be able to see the finished results. They're on my Facebook page today as well. Yeah, I did do that colour. Strip I've cut at 3/4 of an inch wide. Not quite level. I'm just going to put it in our lovely labels, pick a punch. It doesn't matter which end. Line it up. pop it up on some dimensionals again. So probably won't finish off. I think you'll get the idea that inside you can just pop the, I'll show you in a minute, pop the sunflower on the corner thing. But so you don't have to do that if you was pushed for time. It just adds to another thing you can add to. You can try all sorts of things to pop it up. Oh, I didn't sponge it. Where's my, there we go. Still got enough ink on it from earlier, luckily. Ooh. So there we go. So yeah, almost finished. Just got to colour that. Cut that sunflower out. Ah, no, I cut these out. They just go. Haha. That's got me out that way round. So glue them on. Let's glue them on quickly. Right. But yeah, hopefully you can see that there's quite a few things you can do with this design to make it your own. Voila. Obviously you can do another one over that side as well to finish it off if you wanted to. Exactly the same. I know you'd have to just do a different corner, wouldn't you? Or just flip it over. So yeah, just cut your sunflower out, stick it on there. Yeah, stick it, make sure it doesn't go over your fold. So make sure it's stuck on that bit and make sure it stays in your card so it's hidden. And then you're sorted. So, just like that. So here we go. I'll just quickly show. So there we go. Right, thank you all for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed those. So as I keep repeating, they'll be on my blog. And if anybody has any ideas for next week, please let me know. Because not that I don't. Well, no, it is difficult thinking of ideas sometimes. So if there's things that people want to see or do, I'm more than happy to have a go. If it's within my limits, that is. Thank you, Susan. Right, so all have a good week, and I will see you next Tuesday. So take care and see you soon. Thank you. Bye.